Alright, what's going on, world? This phase Rockwell, and I'm doing a part two of the MCU rankings from 16 to 1. And like I said, this is part two. If you ain't see part one, go check it out on my page, Phase Rockwell. And I'm at number 8 right now. And at number 8, I got Thor 1. And this is my mother's favorite movie out of all the movies so far. She still haven't seen a couple of them, but so far this is her favorite movie. And I can see why, because this movie gave us a little bit of everything. It gave us, passion, gave us some funny parts, it gave us some action, it gave us some good storyline. It gave you a little bit of everything. It gave you a lot, but it gave you just enough. Put it that way. It didn't give you a lot, and I think that's the whole reason why I like it. And I like the cast. Anthony Hopkins. I like the person they picked for Jane. She did real good in V for Vendetta. That's why I like her. I forgot her real name. I like the guy they got for Loki, Dorsey, even Thor. They did a real good job casting. And they had basically 3 bad guys in this movie. They had one of the Frost Giants, Loki as antagonist, and they had the Destroyer at the end that Thor took down. So those all was good things they gave us in this movie. And it was a good movie, man. It was a good origin story. We got to see why Thor was Thor and Loki was Loki. We got to see them from the beginning of them kids and explain why Thor was so arrogant. It did a good job. And what I didn't like about it was one of the same reasons that I liked about it. It gave us just enough, but I wanted to see a little bit more action. I think they just threw a little bit more action in there. They took it over the top. I wanted to see a little bit more of Heimdall in the movie. I think Edge Albert is a good actor, and I want to see him a little more. But other than that, man, it was a good movie, and this is why it's at number 8. And some people might be surprised, but Thor is a real good movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Okay, so moving on to number 7, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. And I really like this movie. This was a real good movie also. And the thing I like about this movie that we finally got to see Thanos get some action role parts. This is the only movie we actually seen him in where it was in a post-credit scene. We actually seen like Thanos, and that's what I mostly liked about it. We got some Thanos. Like, that's what I was most excited about it. I liked the whole storyline of it. The whole storyline was very good. It was very humorous, and it also was dark on top of being humorous, and that's what I liked about it too. How they mixed it all in together, and I just like how all the Guardians came together, like their whole story, how all of them found each other. Groot and them being the bounty, Homegirl looking for the orb, and Star-Lord having the orb, and like how everybody just came together was hot. I like how they did it, and I just like the whole journey once they came together. Escaping prison and stuff like that, and how they all wound up meeting Thrax, and all of them came together. It was one big plan, and everybody had their own reasons for being together. And I also believe that was good casting. Just all the characters they got was very good casting, and they did a good job on that. But my most favorite part was really the intro. The intro when it come on. What was the song? It was "Come and Get Your Love." He came in dancing on a song, whatever. It kind of gave it a good feel for that movie. Like, and I liked it. It was a real good movie. But what I didn't like, and this kind of ruined it for me, it was the end. I didn't like the end at all. And what I didn't like about the end was the whole fight scene. The whole fight scene reminded me of Star Wars. Like the way they all went about it. It reminded me like a Star Wars scene. I don't know. I didn't like the whole fight scene at the end. It kind of took it away from it for me. Like once it got to the end, I was like, and then the part where he started dancing and stuff like that to try to distract Ronan, whatever his name was, and he tried to distract him with the dancing and all that. And I don't know. I didn't like that part. I think it kind of took it away. The movie was doing good up to the end, and yeah, that's basically it. It still was a good movie. Okay, moving on. My next movie I got Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was a real good movie. I like Doctor Strange, and it was something that we all ain't know about. But I like the graphics in it. You know, the whole the mirror dimension and the whole scene where they were fighting in New York, and everything was shifting, everything was upside down and left and right. It was crazy. It was a good scene though. I liked it how they did that, how they came up with that. Just the whole concept of them coming up with this whole illusions and stuff like that. It was hot. I like the bad guy in there. Was the Mads Nicholson, I believe his name is. He was a good bad guy. I liked him. He was believable. That's why I liked him. And he ain't take no crap. He went straight for the kill. If you look at the ending part, he went straight for the kill. I like the acting. I like the cast. But the main thing I liked it was when it came on. Like it came on with action, and I liked that how it just came on because it gave you something like, damn, then we in for a ride. And then it came in with the story, so we was waiting to get to that part where the beginning fight, because we didn't know who those people was in the beginning at first, and it was good that we got to see who they was, and we got to anticipate it within it. And I liked it at the end, how he ended Dormammu, and I liked the whole how we used the whole time gem to end Dormammu. I think at the end how the end just set everything off, like because everything that we learned they exploited it in the end. What I didn't like about it, I feel like it was rushed. I feel like they rushed that movie as far as getting to know actually Doctor Strange. And then, like I said again, there's one of the movies that we ain't know nothing about the character, and then just jump in the middle of his life, and he already have a love interest, and we all knew he was gonna get into an accident. And then the first time we see him in the car, he get into the accident, and then how he became Doctor Strange was just fast. How he learned all that stuff. We ain't really get to see him, put that work in to learn that stuff. And I just feel like it was just rushed on a lot of things. So moving on to Spider-Man, what I liked about it, I like Tom Holland. Tom Holland was a good ass Spider-Man. Like he's the best Spider-Man if you ask me. He is Spider-Man, and I like the storyline due to the fact that they found a way to put them to connect Spider-Man with all the other movies. And how they did it was they had a Spider-Man villain, which was his villain in the comics. And when I used to play the game, Spider-Man game, is one of his big villains was the Vulture. And if you look at the Vulture, what a Vulture is, they did exactly how they made him a Vulture in the movie, and then they made him connect within the movie as him being a Vulture. That was just how they thought of that. And I had to clap my hands on that because we all know what a Vulture do. He come in and he takes up the remains of the scrap, and that's exactly what this person was doing in this movie at the every Avengers battle. So that was how they employed that in there. And speaking of the Vulture, I liked it Michael Keaton as being the Vulture. Michael Keaton was a very good villain, and he made this movie good. And I like that it was a funny movie. It was a funny movie, and it wasn't it had depressing parts in there, it had passionate parts in there, parts where Spider-Man was down, but ultimately it was a fun movie. And I like how they did that. It wasn't like the other movies. The other movies just didn't feel like a Spider-Man movie. And I don't want to talk about them other movies, but stay on this one. But what I didn't like about this one was how Spider-Man was getting his ass kicked a lot in this movie. It seemed like, when he was with the Russo brothers, he took down, the Russo brothers, they directed Captain America 3, just in case people know. But he was in Captain America 3, and he took down Falcon and Bucky. And it just seemed like, Spider-Man had, the whole spider thing down, like, as far as how to use his weapons and stuff, like, how to use it. Just seemed like he would just, I feel like he just could have been more, what I'm saying, like, put together as far as how to fight, like, because there's a one scene where he fought the Shocker, and the Vulture sent the Shocker to come kill him, so he won't follow him, and the Shocker was just whooping his ass, like he was just knocking him through buses and knocking him, splitting the bus, bending the bus, and in the middle of the bus, like he would just like tearing his ass up, and the only thing Spider-Man did back to him was just web him and have him stuck on the thing. Like they should have a scene to where Spider-Man got his licks in too, like I don't know, it just seemed like he was getting his ass whooped. On every scene that Spider-Man fought in, he got his ass whooped. Like, and it's just like I don't know about that. Like it was just, I don't know. And then there was a scene where the Vulture could have killed him. Vulture had him hung up by the back of his his collar, and Vulture just was sent the Shocker to go kill him. Then he had a chance to kill him himself, and then he didn't do it. Then the vulture tried to leave, and then it's like something blew up. Like he should have knew that stuff was gonna blow up because he been dealing with that technology from the tanker in the movie. So it was just like I ain't get that part. He did all that to get he tried to get him killed just to get in a position to kill him, just to get tied up from him. At the end, it was just like But other than that, it was a real good movie. Moving on, I'm trying to go through it real quick. I don't want to make the video too long. I got Avengers 2. And Avengers 2 is one of the movies where come on with action. And I like that. You get all the characters in the beginning with good action. They want to go take down Strucker. And you get also the new characters. You get was it Quicksilver and his sister? His sister was Scarlet Witch. And I liked the storyline. And the storyline was real good. It's like in all the action scenes, like the action scene they had, in the street, then the action scene in the beginning, then the action scene at the end. They all was very good action scenes. They put that together real good, and like how they playing for Planet Hawk. Hawk left at the end. They was playing for Thor 3 and playing the Planet Hawk situation. And what I didn't like about it was I don't like how they rush Ultron. Like we never knew nothing about Ultron. I think I said this, Iron Man 3, that they should have had him in the Hawk in that movie discussing Ultron and trying to build him and building up Veronica and all that. So when we got this movie, the Age of Ultron, we understand fully who Ultron is and stuff like that. They just kind of rushed him in there, and that's what I didn't like about it. But that's like one of the only things I didn't like. We got Cap 3 for the next one. Mind you, we going from worst to best. So we got Cap 3, and Cap 3, I like all the action scenes of Cap 3. It was kind of hard to get all those. You getting new characters and you sticking all them characters in one movie and have them, go against each other. That's something hard to do, and they did a real good job. And I liked the Black Panther. Man, I liked all the superheroes, man. I liked the airport scene, man. I liked the Spider-Man in there, and I think actually this Spider-Man was a better Spider-Man than the one in the movie. It was a scene where Spider-Man, this is why I knew he was Spider-Man, Tom Holland. And I think the Russo brothers did a good job exploiting that. It was an airport scene where Tom Holland was fighting Bucky and Falcon, and he webbed them on the floor, and he said, guys, I really didn't want to do this, but I'm trying to make an impression for Mr. Stark. Like, just when I seen that scene, I said, holy shit, that's Spider-Man. Like, if you ever looked at the comics of Spider-Man, that was Spider-Man right there. Just that one little part of him sitting on top of that thing, standing there talking and having them webbed up on the floor and just saying them lines, like, that was Spider-Man right there. That's something Spider-Man would have did in the comics. Like, and so, man, they killed that movie. And that was a good movie. But what I didn't like about it was I didn't like the bad guy. And speaking on the bad guy, I'm just curious to know how did he know that Iron Man was going to show up at the end, and just for him to show that video, so him and Bucky could start fighting. Like, how did he know that Iron Man was going to show up? Like, he was banking all that stuff he put together just for Iron Man to show up, to show him that movie so they can fight each other. That part of the story didn't go together. I kind of ain't like that. I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, like, what made him go through all that just for them to fight each other at the end? Like, he had no idea that, like I said, Spider-Man was coming. I mean, Iron Man was coming. He didn't know Iron Man was coming and showed him that tape for him and Bucky to fight. Like, that one still haven't been explained. Like, I don't know about that. Now after that, it's Captain America 2. Captain America 2, it was hard, picking between this one and Avengers 1. And Captain America 2, what I liked about this was the storyline. The storyline was real good, Captain America 2. And the fighting was real good. The hand-to-hand battle fighting was real good. I mean, it was all good. This is one of the best movies, but the main thing that made this movie was the Winter Soldier. He was one of the best villains. He's the top 2 or top 3 villains that we seen from the MCU so far. And it's like he killed that whole villain role, and they killed the whole storyline, explaining the whole Hydra and Shield thing in that movie. It was a real good movie. But what I didn't like about it was Cap once again willing to die. He would let Bucky just deck him in his face. Then he let Bucky beat the shit out of him and not fighting him back. And then he just fall in the damn water and was just willing to drown and just die. Like what's the point of you dying? Like when you heard about what's the name losing his mind the professor in part one and Hawkeye, he had mind control, and Natasha, a Black Widow, she knocked him inside his head and make him come back. And then you had Captain America 3 where he tied them up and did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like the fact that he was just willing to die at the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should have bust Bucky upside his head with something and get his mind back right or something, like, before you just be willing to die. Like, that's the only thing I don't like about none of the Captain America movies. 1 and 2, actually, he was just willing to die on both of them. It was just, I don't know. I didn't get that. So I got Avengers 1 as the best movie in the MCU. And the reason being because, think about it. Every movie that was led before that one was led up perfectly to that. There was no cracks in that first phase 1. There was no cracks in them storylines that lead up to Avengers 1. There was no cracks. Like, you can't find nothing wrong. Like, they led it up so good and they did the storyline so good. And I feel like that was their best work to make everything connect when they did that. Besides Spider-Man, that was their best work to make a connection. Like, Avengers 1 was like everything. And that was the first look of the heroes, and it was the first time we all got to see them all together. And this was the first time you ever see that within the movie, period. And it's the first time you ever see somebody do that, that crisp, to where like you couldn't find nothing really wrong, like, with nothing. If anybody say that Avengers 1 not in their top 3 movies, then they got to be crazy, because it gave you everything. You know what I'm saying? It gave you the good back and forth talking. It gave you action. It gave you emotion. It gave you storyline. The way they recruited all of them together. The way they all came together. Like, they fought Thanos at the Thanos army at the end. It was like they had everybody in that one movie. That one movie is gonna be big as the Infinity War 1. Like, I think that movie and this movie is gonna be the best 2 movies that everybody gonna always remember, because how it all started. And what I didn't like about it was, I'm nitpicking, but this the only thing I didn't like about it was when Loki threw Iron Man out the window. I feel like he shouldn't have just threw him straight out the window like that without Iron Man even getting hurt or scratch or nip or something on him. He just started flying out the sky, and then the suit jumped on him, and then he zoomed back up. But he shouldn't have broke that window that easily, due to the fact that as a Iron Man's tower, and if anybody can just run to that window like that and fall out, then nah, I don't know. I just didn't like that part, like how he just threw him out the window. I don't think he should have just cracked that window the way he just threw him. Like, he should have just smacked into the window, maybe cracked it or something, but not go right through it that easily. So that's it. If anybody got any questions, y'all can leave in the comments below. Be sure to check out my first one. Subscribing is free. I don't actually tell people to subscribe to my video. They can if they want to. Maybe another mine. I'm gonna keep giving y'all content. So just keep checking it out and leave your comments below if you got any questions, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you.